talk. Hello everybody. I'm Alessio Cavatore, written bolt action, and now kind of very busy doing a huge number of these things. And we have Wojtek Flis here, a sculptor, master of all bolt action things, I would say, and other stuff. What else do you do aside from bolt action?
What do I do for bolt action?
Well, as well as bolt action, what else do you sculpt?
There's tons of figures, and I lost track. I pretty much doubled with pretty much every single age and era.
All right.
And battles, so different models from different kind of.
But historical.
eras.
Historical.
Yeah.
You didn't go into the sci-fi.
I did sci-fi.
Oh, you did as well?
I did what is it? Fantasy. And I did the Conflict 47 Staus.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So everything.
Pretty much.
So basically, talk about bolt action. I'll give you a brief kind of where we are with this, and then questions about books, kind of books, me, models and sculpting, Wojtek, because I know nothing. And yes, normally Marcus is here, but this year we thought a sculptor would be the right person for the job. Right. So bolt action. I guess if you're here, you mostly play bolt action. So we just got Armies of Great Britain out. This is already on pre-orders, I think. Armies of the Soviet Union. If you want to come and flick through later, people seem to like this rule here that makes people go. There's a flying tank rule. There is a flying tank.
Have we already released the plastics for it? Infantry.
I don't know. Good question. Are they out?
I've
We don't know because
I've asked you, you asked me.
Manda will know, maybe.
What do you want to know?
Plastic for the Armies of the Soviet
Russians,
Union.
they've been
Oh
released.
yes.
Are they out? Will they be out soon?
They will be out soon. There's boxes of them in the warehouse ready to go.
Ready to go. Yeah.
Very soon. Okay.
You just sculpt those?
Yes.
No.
That's why I'm just kind of bragging. It's fine.
So yeah, that's the next book. Like the other books, it has got a lot of stuff in it because it's got all the things from, well, not everything, but most things from all the theater books and the campaign books. So we've taken a lot of stuff and put it in there. Normally, everything that has a model is in there, and there's some more things that don't have models yet that are still in there as well. After that, so this is ready to go. The next one is Army of Japan, Imperial Japan, which is in Osprey's hands. We handed it over, they're laying it out, they're sending us back laid out versions, we check and correct. So Japan is going to be the next one. Going further, I mean, this is roughly quarterly releases. Obviously, I don't know the exact dates, but I mean, I don't know whether they will tell you. But the next book after Japan, if I'm not wrong, is Italy, and the Italian book, because this time is not Italy and the Axis is just Italy, and so we had more space there, and we did both the Regio Esercito before the armistice, and then there's an appendix which has both the Republican Army and the co-belligerent army. So you have I think three different lists in there, and we worked.
Did I notice?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
There's a good one in the front. Yes, actually. I'll quickly go for the three, and then you can tell us what's in there in detail.
Okay,
And what's
yeah.
in there. Yeah. So Italy, three things. Worked with some Italian chaps that knew the stuff, and so it was a lot of research and I've learned a lot, and you know about which unit went where, did what after the armistice. Interesting stuff.
I have a question. When you write the stuff and when you go through the research, you're going just year by year, and then what happened in stuff, or you just tend to go different places?
Well, we normally my job is to take the units that other say authors have produced. So there's normally an expert of that field that writes the army list, writes the units, etc. Sometimes they play bolt action, so they write armies which are or unit entries which are all right. Sometimes they don't. They are not players. They're just experts of their field. So they would write this historical information, and then there's no rules information on how to write that. But even when he's a gamer, I always check everything. So I tend to collate information, or in this case Beth also helped. She did the collecting of all the stuff, and when I get this manuscript, I then go through and go, right, edit. I do a very in-depth edit of rules, units, points, values, and particularly with the changes from second to third edition. We change some of the points value, how we point things. So I do a massive edit, and then there's technical edits, and it goes into Osprey layout, and there's some play testing, of course, from a group of guys. Marcus kind of handles, and we have feedback from playtesting internally, and things get developed.
So if you have like a historical background of the story year by year, then you just write rules around that for the specificness of
Well, these
certain theatre.
Yeah, this book here, the Armies of, the series called Armies of, it is not specifically sectors. Basically, it's the entire war, the whole thing, and it's not divided by sectors. From third edition, what we started is dividing into early war, mid-war, late war. But before, in first and second edition, the information was generic, and you could do, you would know where to put it if you theme your army to a particular area or period. These ones from third edition, we started to actually have, this is a late war, or a mid-late or early mid-late. So there is a guidance for the period, for the timing, but not. And funny enough, part of the work is checking all of those bits of information. Of course, you always find the bit of information where you go, oh, actually, this tank was used, earlier or later on. There's always. So it's a guideline, what I'm saying. We expect fully that people will go, there was examples of this tank still used in late war here, and there's this armor car that it's like there were 10 made, but some were used. So there are exceptions, and these are mostly guidelines, and I guess there's a lot of research work, probably more research work than we can possibly ever do, particularly having to release one of these every 3 months, roughly. It's frantic. There's a lot of work, but luckily a lot of it already exists in our. It's already been published.
That was probably my next question. How much of this already exists, and how much was that already in the books that we released?
The units are the same. Basically because they're either from the previous armies of Soviet Union, or for all the different Case Blue, all the different theater books and campaign books. But everything is now a little bit more joined together, because part of the job here is to get lots of entries written through 10 years of development, well, more than 10 years, in 2010, 15 years of development. And authors have changed, and the style has changed, and the rules have evolved. So there's a lot of different styles, even just the way the entries are written. So you have to kind of take that and make it all fit with third edition, the way we write things. And so yeah, it's are there new units? If sometimes there are occasionally new units where actually a new kit has been brought in, maybe some unit has some vehicle that was never covered by anything, then yes, there may be some new stuff in there, but it's more the exception. Normally it's stuff that already exists because it's based on history. So. Okay. But we had things. I mean, recently I spotted an 88mm German gun on a half track. I was like,
for the Russian?
No, for the Germans. I've seen that, and I was like, that's not in the armies of Germany. We don't have any self-propelled 88, and like that. And so yeah, that's a kit that at some point we'll make. We'll have to release. Yeah, just finish this before we get into the battalion. So. Japan, then Italy, then Armies of the Commonwealth. And the Armies of the Commonwealth has been a huge amount of work. It's just, we thought, oh yeah, we can keep the same schedule, and oh yeah, it will be easy. What's the problem? And one of the things where then when it hits reality, you kind of go, who knows anything about the Indian army? What vehicles did they have over there? And it's like, oh well, I know. So, and then it gets, it becomes suddenly. So we have to decide how to split the whole, you know, like which, you know, British equipped parts of the British Empire, and how do you use last, because obviously you could have made many lists, so many lists. But in the end, we went for, let's see if I remember. So we have Australia, New Zealand, so it's armies of Australia, armies of New Zealand, Canada, South Africa. I should do the accents, but I can't. I'm sorry. They all sound Italian. India and East Africa Command, which were, again, there was like, so could we split it some more? And then we went, oh, we need something to kind of cover the other African, apart from South Africa. And again, it was an incredible experience because we worked with different people that are more, you know, I went to ask basically Richard Taylor, who is the boss of Weta Workshop, that do the costumes, which I had the fortune to meet when I was in New Zealand. And he was like, oh, I know the guy you need to talk to, and he put me in touch with this army guy that is a historian, and so he's like, oh yeah, Army of New Zealand in World War II, yes. So much information, and you gotta go, okay, I need to boil this into an army list, you know, one of the 6 army lists in this book. So it's been a gigantic endeavor and exciting. I've learned so much. You know, I was speaking with, I was like, Indian Marines, and you know, it was like what they did. I was like, well, they have Marines, really? Okay, and so you learn, and then you speak with these German guys. Oh yeah, my dad was in the Marines, and they were fighting the Japanese here and there. And I was like, okay, so you learn a lot. I've learned a lot by doing that book. After that, I think I'm still allowed to talk about the next one. It's going to be Armies of France, and again, we try to do to France the same treatment we did with Italy, to go, you know, what happens after. We go Vichy and then the Free French on the other side. Throughout all the books, we have always done the treatment where you effectively you can have specific sub-armies inside the army. So, for example, for the Soviet, you have you can theme and flavor the whole army to NKVD. So you can make NKVD machine guns and anti-tank rifles and all that. We can do Navy, Force, and Airborne. So you have the 3 in here. The Russians have a lot of special rules. They're the ones that have the most army special rules as well, I noticed. And then I think we pared it down a bit more, but until you get to Armies of Commonwealth, where there's 6 different armies. But yes, so France will be given the same treatment. After that, I think I'm not authorized to say what comes after, but yes, we're getting towards the not as big belligerents. And that's the plan for the future. So, but before we get into questions and stuff, what's in that box?
I don't know.
Well, there's pictures on the side.
There's pictures on the side, and most likely a lot of plastic. There's a Katyusha I can see.
Oh, okay.
There's a Katyusha in there, and there's a tank.
Right, and how much infantry?
Yeah, you can see that it's tiny.
T-3485.